The arrival of the Xbox One X, I feel like it really has the potential to do some interesting things because if it is successful along with the PlayStation Pro, it definitely, you see, these consoles are funny because they're more in the range now of like mid-range gaming PCs now. Like the One X is actually, in terms of performance, it's very similar to probably like a GTX 1070, 1080 range. It's in the ballpark of these cards. Now, there are other things these cars do, like clock speed and memory clock speed, that are a bit faster than what's in the One X, but it's still. I mean, it's not completely dumping on it either. So it's really interesting what this system can do, because when you think about it, buying a 1070 or buying a 1080 is a $400 to $500 or $380 to $500 investment. So to build a PC that could do 4K, it would cost you at least well over $1,000, easily. To really do, full, when I say 4K, I mean like, 60 FPS, 4K, maxing out 90% of everything. Now you can build cheaper 4K systems, but that's like either with some form of upscaling or, buying a 1060 and then just kind of, putting things down on lower settings, overclocking certain things, and managing your settings, okay, to achieve 4K resolution. But now I'm talking about, you turn the thing on, you crank everything to 11, and you're running at 60 FPS with power to spare. So to build something equivalent to that would cost you well over probably $1,400, easily. So I do think that the X, I'll just refer to it as the X, has a lot of potential to really shake things up a little bit, because if you haven't jumped into anything going on in the gaming industry, well, in my industry, I mean more like if you haven't bought a high-end gaming PC or laptop, or you haven't bought anything of, significant power, and you have a 4K TV, or you want to get into 4K, then a $500 box that just does it is pretty enticing, to be honest with you. It's actually very enticing to buy with this one thing that just does it, and does it. From what we've seen in E3, it does it pretty well. Now, will they be able to have enough content and be able to market it appropriately that it will be able to, kind of turn the tides against Sony? I don't think so. I think it's too late in the race for like that kind of an upset. But I do think it can definitely really be a good level of competition with the PlayStation Pro, because it is going to have probably better support for what it can do from developers than the Pro it has right now. So it's going to be interesting to see, how it's able to change things, and how it's able to really kind of make people, because in my mind, the biggest thing that Microsoft's going to have to struggle with, besides the price being $100 to a degree, but I think it's a good value, but that's just me, is making people really care about 4K, because honestly, not a lot of people have 4K display. I mean, it's 2017, and 4K is a lot more accessible and a lot more affordable. But you don't see a lot of people ditching their 1080p screens to go to 4K. I mean, the adaptation rate is very slow. People are getting screens. Screens are coming down. So more people are buying it, but it's not like, super mega mainstream, in the sense that, like, 50% of everybody has a 4K display now and is doing everything in 4K. So there's kind of still like, a slow rate of people getting up to it. So that's a little bit of uphill battle, even though it's kind of slowly moving in that direction. Moving into 4K, and then Dell has their 8K monitor that they're touting, and LG's working on 8K, and we got 5K monitors, some 5K monitors that are out. So I mean, even with those things, I mean, that's like more of the higher enthusiast. We have people that have flaming barrels of money to burn that are buying those things. So I think that's going to be a difficult battle for Microsoft to really make people care about 4K by having really compelling 4K content. And a lot of streaming services are offering a lot more 4K stuff, a lot of HDR stuff. So I do think that, it will be an investment, because it will. I feel like if you buy an X, it will be worth it over the course of the next 5 years, more so than right this minute. So it all comes down to games. It all comes down to how they market it. It all comes down to a lot of different facets. So I think it's gonna be really interesting to see what the really what the X can do, and I'm really interested to see. Now I'm more a PC gamer, PlayStation gamer, but I'm excited about the X. I think it could be really cool. I think a lot of people that I personally know would definitely buy one because it's a great jumping in point, and it's also, you know, also people I know that have 4K TVs that want to kind of really get the advantage of their 4K HDR television. So, you know, that by itself is a fantastic thing. But that's just my thoughts. Leave yours down in the comments below. Let's talk about it and have a good one.